What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing an advanced Crystal Beast deck profile. So I'm really excited for you guys because you guys have been requesting this one a lot recently down in the comments, and this deck is absolutely amazing that we finally have all the advanced Crystal Beasts in the TCG. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Sapphire Pegasus is a definite 3 of in this deck, and all of your Advanced Crystal Beasts actually share a common effect, that if Advanced Dark is not on the field, you send them to the graveyard, which is a really big thing about this deck, that you need to get to your copy of Advanced Dark as quickly as possible. But this card is an absolutely amazing effect that if this card is summoned, you can place one of your Advanced Crystal Beast monsters that's banished or in your hand deck or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card, which is an awesome effect to be able to use. And all of your Advanced Crystal Beasts also share a common effect that if this face up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place this card face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard, just like all of your Crystal Beast monsters have that effect. We then play 3 copies of Advanced Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. Cobalt Eagle is a great 3 of in this deck because this card has the ability to actually search out Advanced Dark, with the ability that you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to add Advanced Dark from your deck to your hand, and once per turn you can target an Advanced Crystal Beast card that you control and return it to your hand or place it on the top of the deck, which is a pretty good effect to be able to get cards out of your back row. We then play 2 copies of Advanced Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger. I really like this card as a 2 of the deck because it actually boosts all of your Advanced Crystal Beast monsters attack and defense points by 400, which is a great effect to be able to use with this card, but it also drops your opponent's monsters down by 400 attack and defense as well, which gives you quite a big boost on your monsters, which is just really good. We then play a single copy of Advanced Crystal Beast Amber Mammoth. Amber Mammoth is actually a walking negate and one of the best ones in the entire deck, because this card actually has an insane effect that once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets your Advanced Crystal Beast card or Advanced Dark, quick effect, you can negate the activation. And once per turn, when your Advanced Crystal Beast monster is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, which is a really good effect. We then play just 2 copies of Advanced Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. Ruby Carbuncle is a really good 2 of in the deck, but you really only need 2 copies of this card. This card is super good in the deck because it has an absolutely insane effect, because if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place this card in the spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard like all of your other Advanced Crystal Beasts and Crystal Beast monsters. But this card has one of the most powerful effects of them all, that when this card is treated as a continuous spell, you can special summon this card. Then you can special summon as many Advanced Crystal Beast monster cards as possible from your spell and trap card zone to your side of the field, which is really good just to be able to swarm the field. We then play a single copy of Amethyst Cat. Amethyst Cat is a really good 1 of in the deck because it allows all of your Advanced Crystal Beasts to attack your opponent directly, but you half the damage that your opponent takes, which is really good just to help you OTK the opponent. We then play a single copy of Emerald Tortoise. Emerald Tortoise is a good 1 of in here, but you only need a single copy of Emerald Tortoise. It's a great 1 of because it's once per turn quick effect that you can target a face-up monster on the field and change its battle position, which is really, really good in this particular deck. We then play 2 copies of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. This card is really good as a 2 of in the deck, but you really only need 2 copies of this card, essentially being the 8th Crystal Beast card. This card has a really good effect that if this card is destroyed in the monster zone, you can place this card in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard, and you can only use the following effect this card once per turn, that when an attack is declared involving any Crystal Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can also banish this card treated as a continuous spell card to special summon a level 4 lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck to your side of the field, but its effects are negated, and if you do, you get an ultimate crystal monster from your deck to your hand, which can be Rainbow Dragon or even Rainbow Dark Dragon. We then play 2 copies of Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. This card is a really good 2 of the deck to go along with a copy of the Advanced Crystal Beast version of Sapphire Pegasus, just to be able to get additional Crystal Beasts in the back row. This card shares the exact same effect as Advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus, that when this card is summon, you can put in your spell and trap card zone one Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone, which is a great effect. This one does not grab from the banish zone, but that's totally fine because we're usually grabbing from the deck anyways. We then play a single copy of Rainbow Dragon. Rainbow Dragon is easy to summon this deck because we play a total of 9 different Crystal Beasts in the entire deck. That is crazy to think we have 9 different Crystal Beasts in this deck by name, and this card is just super easy to summon to the field as a 4,000 attack point monster and a great combo piece in the deck. And I figured since we were playing the Advanced Crystal Beast, I would play a single copy of Rainbow Dark Dragon. This is just too cool not to play it in this deck, and this card is super easy to summon in the field. It's always treated as an ultimate crystal monster, just like your copy of Rainbow Dragon, but this card has a really good effect that it cannot be normal summoner set. It must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 7 dark monsters with different names from your graveyard. And you can banish all other dark monsters from your field and or graveyard, and this card gains 500 attack for each card banished this way, so this card can get absolutely massive on the field. So it's a definite one of in this deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is really good in this deck because it has a fantastic effect to be able to work with your copy of Utopia Double. As you just summon Utopia Double to your side of the field, detach a material, search this, put a copy of Utopia on top of Utopia Double. It'll come out at 5,000 attack points. You can then attack the opponent with the copy of Utopia that's on top of the Utopia Double for 5,000, use its effect to negate its own attack, and then drop Double or Nothing to go back in for 10,000 attack points, but it cannot attack directly. But it's still really good to be able to OTK the opponent. And then play a single copy of Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. This card is a really good one of in the deck. It is searchable, which is why I just play a single copy of this card. You reveal an ultimate crystal monster in your hand to activate one of these effects, and if you control an ultimate crystal monster, you can activate 1 or 2 of these effects in sequence instead, which is really good. And has the ability to take a Rainbow Bridge or a Rainbow Refraction from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And it also has the ability to special summon any Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, or in your spell and trap card zone to your side of the field, which is a great effect, but you really only need a single copy of this card. I then play 3 copies of Advanced Dark. This card is so important to get to. You really need to play this card as a 3 on the deck. All Crystal Beast monsters on the field and in the graveyard become dark. And if an ultimate crystal monster attacks, negate the effects of the attack target during the battle phase. And during damage calculation, if a Crystal Beast monster you control battles and you would take damage, you can send a Crystal Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard and you don't take any damage, which is a great effect to be able to get cards in the graveyard so you can actually summon out your Rainbow Dark Dragon and set up for your copy of Rainbow Dragon, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge is a really good 3 on the deck because it lets you add any crystal spell trap from your deck to your hand, which is super helpful in this deck to be able to grab any of your crystal spells or traps that you need directly from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 of the most broken card in the entire deck, and that's going to be 3 copies of Crystal Bond. Crystal Bond is super good in this deck and a definite 3, and it lets you add a Crystal Beast monster from your deck to your hand and then place a Crystal Beast monster with a different name from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card, which is a fantastic effect to be able to use in this deck to be able to just instantly get the exact Crystal Beast that you need from your deck to your hand, essentially being a better Rhoda in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Rainbow Bridge of the Heart is crazy powerful in this deck and a really good 3-up that during your main phase you can normal summon 1 Crystal Beast monster in addition to your normal summoner set. And you can only gain that effect once per turn, and you can only use each of the following effects this card once per turn. That during your main phase you can destroy a Crystal Beast card that you control or in your hand, and if you do, add a crystal spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to search out additional crystal spells or trap from your deck to your hand. It also has the ability if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone, even during the damage step, you can target 1 card that your opponent controls and return both that card and this card back to the hand, which is a great effect. We then play 3 copies of Foolish Burial Goods. Foolish Burial Goods is really good to work with your copy of Rainbow Bridge of Salvation to be able to send this card to the graveyard to get you a search of a Crystal Beast monster and your copy of Advanced Dark. So this card is a definite 3 of in the deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing a single copy of Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. This card is really good for its graveyard effect that we're going to be using, because this card has a really awesome effect that you can banish this card from your graveyard to add a Crystal Beast monster and a field spell from your deck to your hand, which is the effect that we're going to be using on this card all the time, but that is a once per duel effect, but we're just using it to be able to get to our copy of Advanced Dark even faster. We're then playing 2 copies of Crystal Brilliant. Brilliance is really good in this deck. I love this card in the deck because it makes your Crystal Beast massive on the field. You can only control one of this card, and each Crystal Beast monster that you control gains attack equal to its original defense. And if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone, even during the damage step, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard to special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand or graveyard. Also, you take half damage for the rest of the turn, which is a great effect for this particular deck. And I love this card just to make your Crystal Beast normal summons absolutely massive. Like a copy of Pegasus will come out with 3,000 attack points, which is really good to be able to OTK the opponent, especially comboed with your copy of Amethyst Cat where they can all attack directly. I then play 2 copies of Crystal Miracle. This is basically the Infernity Barrier of the deck. This card is a definite 2 in the deck, because when a spell or trap card or a monster effect is activated, you destroy a Crystal Beast card that you control, and if you do, negate that activation. If you do that, destroy that card, which is a great effect. And if a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap card zone while this card is in your graveyard, even during the damage step, you can manage this card to place 1 Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell, which is a great effect just to be able to get additional Crystal Beasts in the back row. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. I still think that sounds like a JoJo stand, but I love it. This card is super good in the deck. It comes out and goes to 11,000 attack points. It's super easy to summon to your side of the field with the effect that it must be special summoned from your extra deck during a duel that you can special summon an Ultimate Crystal monster by banishing the above materials from your hand and or graveyard, which is really good because it just takes an Ultimate Crystal monster plus 7 Crystal Beast monsters, and you don't have to use polymerization to summon this card. And when 7 or more of your Crystal Beast monsters with different names are banished, this card gains 7,000 attack points, going to 11,000 attack points. That is crazy powerful. And if this card is not battled this turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card and shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck, and if you do, special summon any number of your banished Crystal Beast monsters, which is really good to help you OTK. We then play 2 copies of Rainbow Overdragon. Rainbow Overdragon is really easy to summon in this deck as well, as the ability must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by tributing a level 10 Ultimate Crystal monster, which is your copy of Rainbow Dark Dragon or Rainbow Dragon to summon out this card. And once per turn, you can banish a Crystal Beast from your graveyard, and this card gains attack equal to the banished monsters until the end of the turn. And quick effect, you can tribute this card, and then shuffle all cards on the field into the deck, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Utopia Double. Utopia Double is just here so that you can OTK, because you can detach a material from this, search Double or Nothing, then overlay a copy of Utopia on top of your copy of Utopia Double. This card comes out at 5,000. You then swing with your copy of Utopia to the opponent, and once you do, you can negate the attack with your copy of Utopia, and then drop Double or Nothing on top of your copy of Utopia to be able to go in for 10,000 attack points, which is absolutely insane to OTK the opponent. The only downside is it can't attack directly. We then play a single copy of Tornado Dragon to pop spells and traps, Lightning Chidori because we can make it every so often in the deck and it's just really good at bouncing cards, 1 copy of Abyss Dweller to lock down graveyards, 1 copy of Number 60. Number 60 is really good to double the attack of a monster. This card is really good in the deck to be able to draw 2, discard 1, double the attack of a monster, or use it as a monster reborn in this deck. We then play a single copy of Double A Zeus because we do play quite a few XZs in this particular deck, so this card is really good just to be able to summon to our side of the field during main 2 and board wipe just in case we need to. Access Code Talker because we can pop multiple cards on the field, and this card can come out and be absolutely massive. And it's super easy to swarm the field with cards like Ruby Carbuncle. 1 copy of Unicorn to spin stuff, Phoenix to pop spells and traps, IP Mask granted to summon out the copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn and spin cards, and finally a single copy of Cherubini because Cherubini can send level 3s from deck to graveyard, and it's really easy to make with Ruby Carbuncle plus any level 3, and then send an additional card to the graveyard graveyard, which already gets you 3 Crystal Beasts in the graveyard to be able to summon out Rainbow Dark or your copy of Rainbow Dragon. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Crystal Beast before, you definitely should give this deck a try, especially this advanced Crystal Beast version, because this deck is just really, really fun to be able to play. And I really love that they finally gave us the advanced Crystal Beast cards, because I've been waiting a long time, just like you guys, for these cards. So anyways, guys, this is Dark Armed Duelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.